Welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and we're continuing to look at Superman 124 from September 1958. I have noticed a pattern that the ones written by Jerry Coleman are less insane than the ones written by Otto Binder. So this is Jerry Coleman, and with art by Wayne Boring. And this is the Steeplejack of Steel. In everyday life, Superman has always used the secret guise of Clark Kent reporter for the Daily Planet. But one day, why does the Man of Steel choose an entirely different secret identity as a construction workman? What grim game of wits does he play during the erection of a new building in Metropolis? The exciting answers come when Superman becomes the Steeplejack of Steel. So Superman is on patrol, and he hears a building starting to crack. The foundation is cracking. The whole structure will collapse. So he decides, or he discovers, that it's made out of inferior material. And the contractor is Bart Benson with a shady reputation. So he wants to find out what's going on and decides to get himself hired on to investigate. So the guy says, if you've had years of experience, you've had years of experience in building work. Okay, you're hired, Kirk Brent. I sure can use you. This building is going to be 80 stories high. And then Clark does a little mental thinking that he's decided to change his name. I think the reader could probably just figure that out. But the foreman, Bart Brent, or the contractor, decides that Kirk Bart Benson. Kirk Brent must be a fake because he has no calluses, so he's a phony, and decides to just kind of straight up murder him. But he does hire him just to play along. The first thing he does, now this is kind of silly, he has them walking on the girders, and a gust of wind comes by and blows Superman, which seems really unlikely. Oh my gosh, a gust of wind made me lose balance. That seems really unlikely that could happen. But I love this picture, so I don't know what it's supposed to be showing. He says, he's going to fake that he doesn't have superpowers. I always do gymnastics like this on the top of skyscrapers to limber up my muscles. It looks like he's just swinging in the air. So I'm not sure what he's supposed to be doing, but I don't think an actual human could do that. Great guns, he isn't dizzy at all. And then he's holding himself up with one arm, and again, that doesn't seem physically possible because of the way he's balanced on there. But Bart Benson's plan was a fail. So he decides next he's going to toss some hot rivets at Kirk Brent, and Kirk Brent just catches them. Balls of fire. Brent is catching them in his bare hands without yelling in pain. How can he do that? So what Superman does is he quickly, I guess, so there's a bag down there, grabs some asbestos insulation and then creates gloves out of them. And so he wore asbestos gloves, and apparently I didn't notice when I was throwing the hot rivets at him. So again, his plan is a fail. Superman uses his hearing and vision to spot the evil contractor. The radio tracks are flooded out of town. That's good news, boss. When my building materials won't arrive, I'll have a good excuse for laying off that snoopy new worker. So Superman decides he's going to help out the train to make sure those shoddy materials make it there in time. And he manages to shove the hills out of the way so that the train can get through. The next plan is to, he orders Brent, I can't even remember his name, Kirk Brent or whatever, to cut with some acetylene torches some steel rods. But I guess the torch that he gave him doesn't work. And then he says, when the job isn't done, he'll fire him. But Superman just uses his X-ray vision to do it. And then when the boss comes back, he says, yipes, How could he do it? Oh, I suppose some other welder noticed his torch was out of order and gave him one. And so he has one more plan, which is just to smash him with a whole pile of girders. And Superman, he seems to be, it's not that hard to catch him unaware. The girders just nail him and crumple on his body. I don't know why wind could knock him down, but not all these girders. And whatever his name is. Oh no, Brent must have dodged. Okay. I couldn't see clearly. These girders must have cracked and bent just from the strain of being yanked up fast by the crane. Are all my cheap materials that bad? So he's deciding maybe the materials are a little too cheap. Listen here, Tom, we're both cashing in by using cheap stuff and charging full prices, but if the materials are too bad, we'll get caught in. So he decides he's going to track the phone, I guess just following it in the wire. And so he goes and finds T.B. Oliver is the one supplying him with these garbage materials. And so he decides to hell with it. I'm just going to kill him. I mean, other times he was trying to kill him too. I mean, obviously he's trying to kill him there. But he just and I love his cavalier attitude. Oh, pardon me, Brent. I dumped out too much by mistake all over you. So they're trying to kill him. And so he's covered in concrete and then bursts out as Superman. So they don't know Clark Kent is Superman, but apparently they could figure out that Kirk Brent is Superman, but Kirk Brent is nobody, so it doesn't really help them. And he captures them all. Oh my gosh, not here. Superman, all right, we'll confess everything. And then Superman goes out to reinforce the building so it won't collapse. I'll add extra riveting all around. I'll flip them through steel and superforce then weld them with my X-ray vision. I've corrected every weakness. Now to finish the job myself. Well, the workmen just watch. But they'll get their full wages out of the illegal profits Benson and Oliver made. I'm not sure it works that way. I don't know that you can extra rivet garbage material if the steel and the concrete and everything are trash. When Clark Kent returns to the regular job as reporter, I'm flattered the warden at the jail also arranged for Benson and Oliver to have a cell from which they could have a full view of Superman's Sky Tower, made with garbage material. I can hear their teeth grinding from here. Skyscraper renamed in honor of Superman. So as crazy as this story is, it's not as crazy as an Otto Binder's story. So it may be a little less fun, but that's was a Steeljack, the Steeljack of Steel from Superman 124.